जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव श्री गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम 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 हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम् हरे कृष्ण human form of life is very rare. दुर्लभो मानुषो देहो तत्राति दुर्लभम मन्ये. It's very rare actually. After 84 lakhs of species, one will get a human form of life. It's the rarest form. It's the rarest opportunity to correct ourselves and then head back home, back to Godhead. Actually, that is the only purpose of this human form of life. The human form of life do not have any other purpose other than this. The Lord has given beautiful intelligence, and that intelligence is actually meant for this. There's no other purpose other than this. You remember many days back I shared this video in the group. What was that video? There's a small puddle of water, and then there's a lake. The puddle of water is right next to the lake, and in that puddle of water there's a fish. What kind of fish is that? It's a normal fish, and but that fish somehow figured it out that there is a lake across the puddle, and then it wanted to cross that puddle. So when it is actually crossing the puddle, it will actually see land for some time, very short period of time, and it knows that there is land, but it also knows that there is a lake on the other side. The fish is not settled with the puddle of water. The puddle of water can survive, that can fulfill its existence. But we don't know when the puddle will be dried up. When the water puddle is dried up, we have no idea actually. But here, a fish is doing a constant effort of changing his state from one place to the other place. That is a change. Actually, it has been said that change is good. But not every person accepts the change. For example, if you are working on a company, you might be getting 100K, 150K salary, and everything is all right. And you know how the code works, you know how the systems are, you know how, because you developed it, you know everything in and out. So you don't want to change it because even if there are issues, then you know how to fix it because it's not, it's a cakewalk for you. You don't want to change the situation. But unless and until you change the situation, you cannot grow. That is what they say, right? Materially, change means change brings growth. You cannot grow, right? So, what is that state? The state of transforming from one state to the other state. What is that state? That state is good, but it might be facing there might be some difficulties during the change of state. Just like Arjuna was facing difficulties. That's a change of state for him. Arjuna was not expecting that he has to fight with his family members. He is a great Kshatriya. He has killed so many people before this. He's very expert. He's a dynamic person. But now he's been kept in a state which is a complete change or transformed. It's a transformation. He's not they are in a position to accept that particular change. That is why he's telling, oh my dear Lord, just I don't want this body. My throat is choking up. I'm getting shiveries. I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills. Sweat is pouring out. My tongue is drying up. I can't accept this, my dear Lord. That's a change. Is it not a change? It is a change. The fish was also going through the change. Likewise, an employee, he also goes through a change. If he's changing a company, he's going through a change. The change will always bring him so many questions. Is it not? It is. For example, you are going for an interview. It is a change. What are you trying to do? They will ask all you have done at your previous workplace. They will ask us to give examples, practical examples, because they're not seeing like theoretical knowledge. They ask for practical examples. Give me some synopsis. Give me some practical scenarios which you have gone through, and then how you have established that, how you came out of that, and what is your role in that. These are the questions they would ask, right? Because what are you trying to do? You're trying to change. So they will ask whether you'll be suitable for the change or not, right? Likewise, our acharyas, they give us instructions. Through that instructions, it is a very clear indication that is this change acceptable to you? Can you accept this? Can you do this? Can you not do this? If you cannot do this, then that's okay. Don't worry. The time will come where you can do this. But you need to aspire for that. Because through that aspiration only, for example, through aspiration only, one get motivation. One get that eagerness, that desire. For example, if I do not aspire for changing my job, then will I apply for companies? Even though if I apply superficially. I do not apply with heart. I apply superficial. Because superficial application, what happens? It doesn't give enough results to that, right? So, dear devotees, even something on a material plane, it has to go through some process. There's a reason, there's a logic. Everything has to be dovetailed in the correct way. But all of those things, when those things are not dovetailed in the correct way, then what is it? It's a problem. That is called a struggle for existence. When the struggle for existence is there, that is when he has issues. Just like the fish is actually going from the small water puddle to the lake. The moment it goes into the lake, it has everything over there. It has food, it has everything. Everything it can go, it can manage everything. But that move which she is doing, that is the greatest move. Likewise, dear devotees, right now we are in that puddle of our material existence. Slowly, what we need to do is we need to transform this material existence to spiritual existence. Just like Hiranyakashipu, what is he doing? Hiranyakashipu knows the magnanimity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Doesn't he know the magnanimity of the Supreme Lord? He knows. Then why does he wants to fight with him? Because his motive is something else. Because his mood and his motive is what? His mood is to become the controller. Actually, Krishna is a Bhokta. Bhoktaram Yagyatapasa Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. But what is he trying to do? He is trying to become the Bhokta. Just like if you actually see, this entire material world is actually in that state only. What is this state? Here everyone wants to become Bhokta. Now, for becoming that Bhokta, he is ready to do a change. Please try to understand. Here, people are also changing. What we began the conversation today is this human form of life is the rarest form of life. Now, acharyas, they are changing. Pure devotees, they are changing in their life also. Materialistic person, he is also changing in his life. But that change in his life, the change in the devotee's life, that is completely different. Because devotee is completely strictly doing it. His only content or intent, his action is just doing what? Just he's always checking, is this pleasing the Lord or not? But in the materialistic change, what is happening? That is also a change. But what is he? What is he doing? Just like Hiranyakashipu is also doing the change. What is he doing? Just like he's trying to, what kind of change he's doing? He tried killing Prahlad Maharaj in one way. That didn't work out. What is he doing? He's doing a change. He's doing another way. He's doing another way. He's thinking continuously because he doesn't want this child to be grown up under his community. Because if he grows under his community, then everyone will become devotees, which he doesn't want. He wants only his glories to be there. He doesn't want the glories of the Lord. This is a sign of the bhakta. That's why if you see, in every materialistic person's consciousness, Krishna is not there. Why? Because they are the bhakta. As simple as that. If Krishna is there, he will be the bhakta. Or if Krishna is there means how technical I need to offer everything. Or if Krishna is there means I need to get up in the morning. If Krishna is there means I need to chant. If Krishna is there means I shouldn't do sense gratification. That means what is happening when Krishna is there, what are the other things? The materialistic propensities are removed, are faded away. That's why what happens is, in the materialistic consciousness, Krishna is kept aside. Just like Hiranyakashipu kept aside. He was very furious. The same consciousness is there in every materialistic person's heart. That is why they are unable to see the presence of the Lord. Actually, they don't want to see the presence of the Lord. Now the Lord is so merciful and kind. If anyone aspires to see him, he is readily available, openly available. But the problem is, we don't want to see him, don't want to aspire to take his association. That's the problem. See, now the change is happening. Now, Hiranyakashipu is also doing the change. All the people in this world, they are also doing the change, but the devotees are also doing the change. But that change is divine. The Lord says in chapter, I think in the 14th chapter, I think 15th, divine and demonic. What is a divine and demonic? There are divine qualities, there are demonic qualities. What is the demonic qualities, dear devotees? Krishna speaks about demonic qualities. And Krishna, the moment he spoke about divine qualities, and after that he says, Arjuna, you belong to the divine qualities. He immediately concluded. What did he say? Arjuna, you belong to divine qualities. You don't belong to demonic qualities. And then after that, he began speaking on demonic qualities. Demonic qualities is what? Full with these anarthas, lust, greed, anger, envy, false ego, pride. So, what are these qualities? These qualities are what? When the Lord is away from the consciousness, then these qualities do take over. When the Lord is present in the consciousness, these qualities do not have any place. Even though it is like a serpent who doesn't have poison. The serpent is hissing, that hissing is of no value because the entire poison is removed. So, likewise, in the life of a devotee, some hiccups will come, but they are always taking the shelter of the Lord. What is happening is, through that shelter, they are completely aloof from this existence. Brahmabhuta, prasannatma na sochti na kankshati. What is a Brahmabhuta plane? Amabhuta plane is the plane where there are no dualities. That means he's seeing everything equally. He has no other dealings of this world. He's there in the world, but he has no dealings with this world. Just like the connection is there, but he's not connected to it. I'll give an example. For example, if if our dear one is speaking to us, if you are absorbed in some other thought process, she's actually speaking, but those words will not go into the ears. Please understand this. Because your consciousness is not there to actually hear those words. Your consciousness is sitting somewhere else. Either you are thinking about the glories of the acharyas or the Lord, or you are thinking something materially. Even if you think materially or spiritually, still you are not there because we are not putting the focus over there. So I always think about this: is this not such a beautiful thing? The Lord is actually giving us an opportunity to confirm that if you are interested, then you can hear. Otherwise, you cannot hear. Even though the ears are open, you don't hear. Then you say, what you said? Again, they have to repeat. Then you have to apologize them. You know what? I'm thinking something else. Can you please repeat this? Should be very honest. So, dear devotees, what am I trying to say is the Lord is so merciful. He gives us independence in unlimited ways. No, whoever is using that independence, just like that fish used that independence, it was difficult for the fish to cross the puddle because it has to go through the land for some time. Do you think it's easy for a fish to, travel on land? For some time, it's very difficult, and it knows it knows it is difficult, but still it does it. Just like a sadhaka knows it is difficult. Who says getting up early in the morning is easy? It is difficult, but the sadhaka does it. Why? Simply wants to please the Lord. He wants to please the spiritual master because he's working, he's getting up for them. This is a beautiful science which I learned, which gives so much solace to the heart. What is that science is? If I aspire to get up, I can get up for a few days. If I aspire to get up in the mode of passion, that means, oh, all these people are also getting up. Just like, for example, if you're in a community, uh, you're bound to get up because the devotees will ask, what happened? Why didn't you come to the Mangalarti today? So, because people will ask me, then I might get up. I'm just giving an example. Now, the other thing is, this is mode of passion actually. Why this is mode of passion is because I'm getting up because devotees will ask me, or somebody else will ask me, or my husband will not think that I'm a devotee, or my children will not think that I'm a devotee. Oh, my son might ask, Mama, have you chanted your rounds today? No, for that thing, I have to get up. What is this? Because you're trying to adjust in a situation or a circumstance. That means you're forced in a particular situation. For example, you have to go to office and then you don't want to work, but you have to work. It's force. If somebody is forcing on you. That's passion. Or else when we are doing out of force, that's passion. Or when we are doing out of our own desire, that's passion. So this mode of passion, this actually allows us to get up for some days. What I started, I said, when we aspire to get up, then we will get up for some days. When we are aspiring, when we are doing it for the pleasure of for others, we can get up for few more days. But when we really want to get up for the pleasure of the spiritual master and the Lord, then you can get up every day. Because that is not passion. Neither that is not ignorance. You are doing in a loving relationship. You will see that he's my father. I have to please him. And that is my motto. I do not have any other desires. I simply want to please him. When a sadhaka comes to this state, he is locked. For example, if you do a fixed deposit in a bank for a few years, it is locked. That's it. That means that's it. You don't have to worry about it. It's locked. Your money is there in the bank. That's it. You can't remove, you can't add. That's it. Just like a, just like a, Just like a bride and groom, they get married. What is that? Now, they might have some differences of opinions. But what happened? It is locked. Actually, 100 years back, there is no question of divorce because that was all part of Sanatan Dharma. It was completely locked. Until the person leaves the body, the wife has to be there with him. For example, if there are a difference of opinions, they would actually go to their parents. Parents are always there with them only. What do you mean go to the parents? Parents are right next to them. And then parents, oh, kya kar raha hai tu? Do like this, stay like this, be like this. That's it. Finish. Because they were all submissive to your devotees. They were hearing to their elders. Because now when I started living with my elders, they tell so many things at home. To be honest, if I'm not Krishna conscious, I wouldn't have heard. I wouldn't have heard. But now I'm hearing. Why? Because they're elders, they've seen. They've seen more than me. What is that? What is that acceptance? When that acceptance comes, what happens? There is no quarrel among. There is no quarrel among us. Very important. Now, why today there are quarrels? There is hypocrisy. Why? Because the families are very nuclear. Now, who stays with their mother-in-law and father-in-law? Who stays with their father and mother? No, nobody stays. Actually, I'm feeling so much blessed because I'm staying with all of them. I'm so happy actually. Why? Because not only I'm learning few things, but also I'm developing good relationship with them. And now, when they're leaving the body, that was my desire. I should be there with my elders when they're leaving the body. I should sit next to them. I should chant the rounds for them. I should tell Krishna Katha to them. I should pray for them. I should do kirtan for them. Now it is possible for me. That was one of the prayers which I was there in India, in US. Oh my dear Lord, please protect them, so that I can stay with them, so that I can stay with them. So now Lord is giving an opportunity. Dear devotees, if you begin thinking about others, if you begin praying for others, if you begin doing for others, that is what Krishna consciousness is. You'll do great actually. But the thing is, what we need to do is we need to keep our things aside. We need to keep them into our consciousness. You know what? How much Krishna will be pleased with this effort. I remember many years back, I think this is before COVID, when my father's elder brother was very sick and weak. And then I was praying to the Lord, oh my dear Lord, please give him another chance so that he can, he can at least practice Krishna consciousness for a few years. And it worked. He was saved. Everyone thought that he would die, but he was saved for a few years. And he practiced. And his favorite book was Matchless Gift. He was telling me, this book, I like this book. He used to tell me. Then he left. That few years of practice of Krishna consciousness, definitely you will get a better body. Neha Vikramanasati Pratyavayana Salpam Pyasha Dharmasya Trayata Mahadavaya. The Lord will be pleased because he has done a little endeavor. He heard. He heard Krishna Katha. He chanted Harinam. He started eating Krishna Prasad. And then he was diagnosed. He had kidney failure and then he left. He had COVID and then he left. But he did. He practiced for a few years. So this aspiration, dear devotees, when we do this, do aspire for this consciousness. This is the change which we want in our life. The fish knows it's a problem, but the fish is not waiting, is not looking for the problem, but the fish is actually embellishing the problem. Because the fish knows it has the shore on the other side. Likewise, dear devotees, we might have problems. That's okay. Who doesn't have problems here? But when we accept it, when we accept it as a blessing, then we will make the change in the correct way. This is the science of Krishna consciousness. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to aspire. Very beautiful. So, Hiranyakashipu was not in that mood. He also was aspiring for a change. But his change is completely different. His change is what? His change is out of box. Because what is he trying to think? Brahmaji was asked, Brahmaji, when after he doing the tapasya, Brahmaji would come. Oh, that was a great tapasya. Nobody would do that kind of tapasya. And he'll dear devotees. And he's standing on the toe of the nail, and raising his arms. He's doing continuous austerity. Eating, sleeping, everything is stopped. Everything. And he's doing tapasya for Brahmaji. And all the higher planetary systems, they're all like bewildered. There a fire is emanating from his body, which is actually devouring the higher planets. The hands are nibbling away his body. He's not worried of that. There's an ant, huge ant hill. His almost entire body was like gone. His skin is almost entire gone. It's just only bones. He's just standing on the bones. But he's not giving it up. See the determination because he wants to do what? He wants to become a great person. Why? Because he wants to kill the person who has killed his brother. That's a change. No, he's not thinking, oh, what's going to happen to me if I stopped eating for these many days? What's going to happen to my wife, Kayadu? Who will take care of her? He's not thinking any of those things. He was ready to accept the change. Just say that simple desire, small desire of what? Small desire is to devour the person who killed his brother. He was so furious against Lord Mahavishnu. He was so furious against Krishna. He wanted to kill him right away. Just see the desire, how deep it's that desire is. Nitty Nitty in his complete consciousness is evolved in this, is so much absorbed in it. Nothing is actually obstructing. Vyavasatmika buddhi reke hai Kurunandana. There is no obstruction in his consciousness. Just see here. And then after Brahmaji comes, he says, oh, my dear, oh, Brahmaji, you came. And then Brahmaji will pour the water. And then his body will become natural, comes to the natural state. And then he started asking this. Then Brahmaji says that you cannot be immortal. Because I myself am not immortal. Just see what is he asking. He's asking for something which he doesn't have. Or he asking because he has to fight against Vishnu. If he's immortal only, he can fight against him. Very intelligent person. Now he knows all the details of the Shastra also. Don't you think Hiranyakashipu knows all Bhagavad Gita and all of those things? No, he knows everything. Don't you think that Hiranyakashipu knows that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God? No, he knows everything. But still he wants to be against him. In this material world, nobody knows about the Supreme Lord, but they're already against him. But here in this scenario, this is completely different. He's completely against him because he's furious because his brother. No, he wants to take revenge. There's a battle. Then he started asking various reasons where he cannot be killed. No, he thinks that he is very intelligent. Just see here, devotees. The Lord is intelligent of the intelligent. Hiranyakashipu is intelligent, but the Lord is intelligent of the intelligence. Because he is the source of that intelligence. Now, Hiranyakashipu thinks that he's covered up pretty nicely. But no, the Lord who's there is more intelligent than him. He has other ways and means to combat that. Now, if we actually see, when Narsingadev came, he followed every instruction of Brahmaji. See, the Lord is so merciful. He sees that every detail which his devotee is giving, he is fulfilling that. Just like Narad Muni, when Manigriva Nalakuvera, they were naked in front of Narad Muni, they were completely absorbed, drinking with women, happily enjoying. Narad Muni, even after coming Narad Muni, actually, at least the girls, they started wearing the dresses. But these personalities, they were like so absorbed in their own thing. Then Narad Muni said that he became so compassionate, and then let's say you become trees, Yamalarjuna trees. And then you stand like that, naked, for years and years. And then he said one thing. The Lord Govinda, he comes and then he delivers you. Now to fulfill Narada Muni's desire, Lord manifested. The beautiful Damodar Leela. It's a very intimate relationship with Mother Yashoda. When we think about this, dear devotees, don't we aspire for this state? Don't we aspire for this state? Just we need to meditate. Just see here, Narada Muni's words, Lord was so pleased with that. He wanted to fulfill those words. So beautiful. Just see the relationship between the Lord and his devotees. With Mother Yashoda, with Narada Muni, with all wonderful Brajavasis. He cannot stay in separation of them. He cannot. Just like a father, he cannot stay in separation of his son. Or a son cannot stay in separation of his father. They have that deep relationship. If it is pure. Likewise, million times more than that relationship, these relationships are there. The relationship between the Lord and his devotee. The intimacy between the Lord and his devotee. And that intimacy is established when these anarthas are removed away from our consciousness. There is no place for anarthas. In devotion, there is no place for anarthas. Anarthas cannot stay. Either devotion will stay or anarthas will stay. Both cannot stay. There is no existence actually. Either there is submission or either there is arrogance. There cannot be submission and arrogance. That means if we perceive that there is submission and arrogance somewhere, we need to understand that that is not real submission, that is false submission. Then what is real? Arrogance is real. Please try to understand. When there is a good quality, dear devotees, it will be good. The bad quality will not manifest. The bad quality is there manifesting. We need to understand that the good quality is a shaded good quality. It is not a real good quality. Please understand this. It is not the real good quality. It is shaded. It is perverted. Prabhupada says it, perverted. This material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Likewise, the good quality of submission is not really submission. It's a shaded, perverted submission. Just like Arjuna was submitting, that's not complete actually. It is shaded. Why it is shaded? Because in that inquiries or in that questions or in his analysis, if you see there is Krishna is absent. That's why Srila Prabhupada says it's a perverted. But the moment he submitted himself, the words which are coming after submission, that is real. Please try to understand. When arrogance is there, submission will not come. For example, if we think that we are submissive, but arrogance is also coming, we need to understand that submission is actually not real submission. But submission is actually faded submission. It's a perverted reflection. It's a material nature submission. It is not the submission which generally devotees aspire. Submission to the acharyas and the spiritual master. That kind of submission is not that. Because when that kind of submission is there, arrogance will not be there. There's no room for arrogance. There's no room. Hiranyakashipu was arrogant. His submission looks submission, but that is not the real submission because he is not submitting to serve Brahma. He's not submitting. He's not doing tapasya to serve Brahmaji, but rather he is doing tapasya for his own material desires. Please understand. There's a lot of difference. Now Arjuna also submitted. Is it not a submission? Duryodhana, Hiranyakashipu, it's a submission. Don't you think like standing on one leg is it not submission? It is. It looks submission, but the core intention is not doing it for anyone's happiness. He's doing for his own thing. That's why I'm actually fearful about this state. Why? Because the moment we do it for ourselves, cannot understand what Krishna consciousness is. I'm always fearful about this state. Because the material nature is so powerful, it will actually show that whatever devotion we are doing is actually devotion. Technically, that is not. The devotion has to happen internally, more deeper level, more and more deeper level. Now, Hiranyakashipu is also going deeper, but his depth is what? To fulfill his desire. We are also going deeper to fulfill our desires, and that is not right consciousness. Then that submission is not real submission. That's a faded submission. It's like a black sheep. It is thinking that it is submission, but it is not submission because you can understand actually when the other qualities which do come through the manifestation of the six antas, when they are still existing, when we are dealing with others, those things are coming means we need to understand how we did not yet come to that plane of real submission, which is a fact actually. So when we understand that, then what happens? Then the dependence comes. For example, if I know there is a problem, then only I will aspire to come out of that problem. Otherwise, I will not aspire to come out of that problem. I will continue that problem. I will continue with that problem only. That's why so many people in the moment they think that they are already devotees. So they continue with that state. It's an illusory state. The moment a person thinks that he is devotee, he judges the other person. That's a problem actually. Jay Vijay also suffered through that problem. Then didn't Jay Vijay suffered? Because they judged it right away, the four Kumaras. They judged it right away. I remember Switcharashtra telling us. It's the greatest problem actually. The moment I think that I am that, then I don't aspire for that. Because I already think that I have achieved it. Hare Krishna. So this aspiration we need to understand. Now, for example, I'll give a scenario. 10 years back, devotees are initiated, let's say. 10 years later, those devotees which were initiated 10 years back, it's difficult to see them in the temple. Because they're already initiated. They're already initiated. Why should I get up in the morning? I'm already initiated. Why should I do that? I'm already initiated. Why should I do this service? Oh, I've done that service before my initiation. Now I'm already initiated. Now I'm already a devotee. These marks actually give so much trouble to the heart. Have we seen Krishna? Do we? Actually, I remember this thing. If we really understand the heart of Srila Prabhupada, what he is going through, we'll never think that we are a devotee. We'll never think that we have done some devotion. His heart is something else. which we'll discuss more. His heart is something else. We don't know what his heart is. We tell Jai Srila Prabhupada, but we don't know what his heart is. His heart is so deep. His eagerness, his tapasya. So these things have to be seen, have to be meditated again and again. When the anarthas are coming again and again means we need to understand good qualities are just shaded qualities, they're not real qualities. But when we continue doing this, madana inside the consciousness, then you'll see the change. For sure, you'll see the change. Definitely. Because you see, if a person is aspiring for that state, don't you think that the Lord will help? For example, if a child is crying, child is crying out for milk, don't you think mother will come and give milk? Immediately mother will come and give. There's no problem with that. Krishna is also like that. He'll also come and give. But the thing is, you need to develop that desire, that fire. That desire has to be developed. More desire. I have to be Krishna conscious. I should be Krishna conscious. Other than this, I do not have anything else. This is what I need to always meditate. This is my state of consciousness. If that is there, then the mercy will flow. Hare Krishna. So change is good. Aspire for good change. Do certain changes in one's life so that those changes will help us in advancing in Krishna consciousness. Prefer that. Don't think that this is a difficulty, I cannot do this. If the fish was thinking like that from the puddle, it wouldn't have gone to the lake. The fish did not think like that. If Arjuna was thinking, oh, why this battle, why this, that, so many other things, then he wouldn't have inquired to the Lord. He was inquiring because he was really looking for the truth. He was inquiring because he was actually searching, क्या problem है मेरे heart में क्या problem है? Why there is a problem in my heart? Because he was searching for that. This search has to happen. Hare Krishna. I think I'll stop here. I took little extra. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share? I think it's very important conversation today. Please try to think about this. The change, what we are doing, is is uh, is very important. Why we are aspiring for, and then why one should aspire for a change in one's life is a very important discussion.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanyavat
Mataji.
Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, very nicely said, Prabhuji, about the practicing devotees and the non-devotees. So the practicing devotees change is totally different than the non-devotees who is not practicing. Their change is like they want to enjoy. They are the bhaktas, and the devotees, their change is for Krishna, for growing in Krishna consciousness. And His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, in his lecture, I was just listening, then he said that our body is continuously changing, everything is changing. So it's a time to change our consciousness too. And Prabhuji, as you said, who are not the follower of Krishna consciousness. And yesterday in the evening we were reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Chotusloki Bhagavatam, but I forgot exactly the text. It's Canto 2, Chapter 9, where Krishna is telling directly that without me there is no existence. So whatever is happening in this world without Krishna, no existence in this material world with any other things. Even if I'm practicing, I'm trying to grow in Krishna consciousness, but if I am thinking about myself, not pleasing gurus, not pleasing acharyas, but more like my thinking of, then that's I'll also not be exist. I mean, my existence also not will be established. Like without Krishna, nothing is there. So that's my understanding. And also arrogance and submission is inversely proportional. If I have arrogance, then my submission won't be happening. So that's my takeaway, Prabhuji. Please correct me.
Hare Krishna. I think it's very important. Our whatever our acharyas are giving, we should strive to follow them to the best of our ability. We need to check our consciousness very, very deeply. When we are doing any action, we need to see how am I doing it, and what am I doing? Am I just doing it, or am I doing with lot of thought process behind it? See, when we are doing a small action with lot of thought process behind it, we remember those things actually. Actually, that is one of the reasons why pure devotees they remember everything. Because every conversation which happen in their life, they remember that because they are present in that moment. They are actually present. So they're not just staying there, but they're staying with the consciousness. So which is very, very, very vital. So staying in the presence in that right state is a vital factor for all of us. So let us try to remain in the present. Let us try to be absorbed. Even when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we should see, am I there in the present? Am I hearing the names? Am I doing it for their happiness? Am I really be absorbed in that? Hmm? We should actually see through that and go forward in our Krishna consciousness. Now, Hiranyakashipu was also doing it. He was just doing it for himself. That's why even though he gets so many things, he was not happy with the core of his heart. Because there was some problem with him. Just see a small boy, just a small boy. That boy, he could have he could have ignored that boy, but he was not able to ignore that boy. And he has so many things, this small boy, what he will do. He could have thought like that, but he couldn't accept that. Because the heart is not satisfied. When the heart is not satisfied and the little problem comes, we cannot accept. For example, in our life also, when there are little problems, if you are not accepting it, that means our heart, kuch to problem hai, some problem is there in our heart. We need to try to address that problem in the heart because until we address that problem in the heart, these problems will not be solved. So we should be very careful. We should do everything for the pleasure of the spiritual master, for the pleasure of the Lord. This we need to aspire. Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to speak? Otherwise, we'll stop it here. Hare Krishna. Yes, Vamshila Show, please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhu,
Yes,
thank you.
please tell.
Thank you so very much for the message, Prabhu. If I'm going to do for myself, I'm going to expect the change for myself. It's going to be temporary. But if I'm going
Yes.
to accept the change, be submissive for, and do for the pleasure of the Acharya spiritual master, then as per their mercy, the consistency would continue, and I have to observe the change and that consistency and be grateful, thankful to
And
them.
that consistency will actually put us in a mode of goodness. And then slowly, slowly, that mode of goodness will also be transcended. Because through that state only, we'll come to the state of surrender. Because what are we doing? Our life is for them. And we do everything for them. That consciousness will develop. When that consciousness is developed, no problem will touch you actually in this world. That means you are there, just like a lotus flower. The lotus flower is there, but there is so much mud underneath. The muddy is not affecting the lotus flower. So the devotees will be there in that state. They're there in this material, that they're not part of this material world. When that consciousness will come, when the continuity comes through this way. That we need to aspire. That is a real change which we need to aspire for. We should completely remove ourselves from the picture. Because I always think about this. When we remove ourselves from the picture, then do we lose our existence? No, no, no. Our existence is there with them. Just like a stem as a small leaf. The leaf might be very tender, but it is connected to the stem. No matter how much the temperature is outside, the leaf will always be green because it is connected to the stem. The leaf is not looking for the individual thing. The leaf is naturally given everything. So when we come to that state of continuity, then what happens is naturally we will be there in that also. We are existing in that also. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And with this mercy, with this strength coming from the acharyas, from spiritual master, when we come across situations like non-devotees, but we have to go, we will be put in those situations, right, where not all will not be surrounded, unless we are in a community. We wouldn't be surrounded by devotees.
Correct.
So we have to hear all kind of. But then, as you said, in that state, the heart will be with the spiritual master, with the acharyas, but then the body will still be there, just listening in, just to let the situation go. So
Yes.
thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much for the important.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Vamsville,
Yeah.
took some time. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes, Shamshila from please take over the call. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful message today. And you are the one who follows this so nicely, even though you're practicing so much and following your guru's instructions with submission. When I speak to you, you always say you're not a devotee. So it's just really very instructional to be in your association and hear your message every day. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.